this video I wanted to talk about souls and go through a little bit of what I have figured out about myself. Okay. So, souls. What makes a lion choose to have a whimpering gazelle for a few hours and have it suffer, or to make a clean cut? Who is to choose that, and who is to choose the specific, obvious nature of those actions with intent? And it's a confusing way to say it. It's a confusing way to say it. I mean, these lions who choose to kill in a particular manner have intent. If they wanted to, they could just clean cut, right in the back of the neck. Or if you wanted to, you could paralyze it or do some fucking weird thing with it and have it suffer and bleed out. And there's all throughout the animal world. I don't know to what extent consciousness is able to express itself, but through decently complex organisms like animals, things that respond to stimulus, which is kind of by definition an animal, it's part of the definition, obviously there's a lot more. There seems to be souls, right? There seems to be a personality that has to do with things that are completely separate from the conditional nature of this planet. The biases that we have, all of the things that we learn throughout the nurturing process of the psychological mind, right? There's nature, which is things that are innate, and there's nurture, which is things that you learn throughout the time that you're here. So, dissecting myself. Again, relationships. Human relationships is something that I've been getting exposed to, and again, I've gotten out of a relationship recently, and the things that I've been discovering are the things that the purpose was to find myself and for the other person to find themselves and see what happens. And it's working. I've never had a greater understanding to who I am and the purpose, which is hard to tell, of my life. I haven't had as such a feeling as strong as times like this, where it's happened before, but where I've become synchronized with things, with events, with dreams, with mystical stuff that just pop up unexplainably. And if you are a scientifically biased person, you'd probably just say they're coincidences. But it's very hard. I'm interested in science too. I was a physics addict, okay? I was a mathematics addict. But there's things that are seriously unexplainable. I realize the framing is a little... I'm chill, man. I'm chill, okay. Anyways, the thing that I've realized within myself is that I am this thing, looking back, that has been reproducing a common theme throughout life, aka a soul, right? No matter what I've been in, there's been these particular pieces of me that have stayed consistent no matter what. And the pieces that are there are I'll explain, because I think it's unique as hell. And if anyone out there is like this, I'd love to talk with you, because I don't know anybody else who has. So, I am a person who, I don't know why I manifested on this planet as a human. Not in the sense that I don't want to be here, or I feel lost, I don't. Somehow I'm able to coincide with being a human and also having a desire to not be human. So every chance that I've gotten throughout life to be able to get away from my body, away from the physical aspects of life, away from human consciousness, away from the biases that arise as a human, right? There's a tiger running at you. You're going to put up your arms and try to defend yourself, right? As a human bias. It's just a bias. Whenever I've been able to get away from it through meditation, through astral projecting, trying to lucid dreaming, different states of consciousness, different vibrations, different realities, basically, in a sense. I've always wanted to move away from this human thing, this claustrophobic, bias-filled thing that is what I see as the human experience. And it seems paradoxical. Is that a word? Because I come here, let's say we have a purpose, let's say we have a story. I come here, I incarnate as a human, and what exactly am I trying to do? It might seem as though that what I'm trying to do is next level stuff where we begin to transform our beingness away from being human, instead becoming an entity, right? Becoming a true form of consciousness that is not struck by the biases of life, by the biases of physical incarnation. And it's paradoxical because how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to live within a dimension and not be of that dimension? You might not be able to. So, I don't know. For sure, though, if you have found yourself, if you have found who you are, if you see it clearly, I think you could agree that souls are real. But if you haven't, you might just think that we're all, nurtured beings that are just here as a result of different variables in our life. I used to think that partially, but I like the idea of souls. It was kind of interesting and unique. I like that, so I clung on to that. But personality speaking, psychologically speaking, if you think that it's just a nurture process, try to find yourself. And if you have found yourself and you still think that, I'm interested in you, because I wonder how you did that.